Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your host, Mr. T, and this is the Uncle Project Podcast. The Uncle Project Podcast is a podcast 2.0 podcast. Be sure to check out the Uncle Project Podcast on Fountain FM if you're looking to upgrade your podcast player. This is also a Hive-powered podcast. I'll have in the show notes, or you can go to taco.start.page and then go to my affiliate page in order to find a link to get set up with a free Hive account. Take ownership of your data and boss up online. So speaking of setting up Hive accounts, today, want to get on here and talk about some stuff that I said I wouldn't be doing with the Uncle Project Podcast. I am now doing, with the show. So, a couple episodes ago, I had started putting video versions of the show on 3Speak, which is a video platform on the Hive network. It's really not like YouTube, but I'm able to post video content on 3Speak, and I get to tokenize my content and earn Hiveback dollars, which is like a stable token pegged to the US dollar for video content. So that was going to be my plan, is to make 3Speak the exclusive place where you find video content for the Uncle Project Podcast. But that is no longer the case. I've recently gotten the Uncle Project Podcast RSS feed to feed data to YouTube. So I'm taking advantage of that feature, and what that does is it automatically turns each episode into a YouTube video, and the biggest advantage that I get with that is it gives me another set of analytics. And with YouTube, it's a Google company, so they're collecting like the best data ever. Some of it may be intrusive, but hey, it's going to give this show some new and improved data, which is pretty cool. So I can see what topics are more popular, and kind of see what episodes people are listening longer into the episodes and things of that sort, which will help me to figure out, hey, I want to share more of this type of content, or I want to make these types of shows. I'm putting the show on YouTube, but at the same time, I'm still wanting to do different shows for the podcast on different apps. So I'll probably have like some version of a 3Speak show that posts to the RSS feed, or I'll just use 3Speak in a different way. Like that might be the exclusive place where you find like vlogs with like my actual face. Cause like on YouTube, yes, my podcast videos go to the podcast section, but I'm thinking I want to use that channel to just really help overall drive traffic to certain things. So yeah, there may be videos there, but those are going to be like faceless videos. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. That should be pretty interesting over time. But yeah, like old faceless channels. But yeah, I might end up doing something else when I have more time, for sure. I definitely don't have time to do like a ton of stuff all over the place, but just as far as stuff that goes from the feed automatically to YouTube, you know, it doesn't take a ton of time. And like I say, I want to do different shows on different platforms. So maybe like a show on Spoon that I do, and then put that audio on the feed as a show on the Uncle Project podcast. Do the same thing with Stereo. Do like a show on that app, and then yeah, make a take that audio, put it on the podcast if I do a show anywhere else, and yeah, just keep rocking like that, you know. Really amazing use of the tech. I just really feel like RSS is just as cool as blockchain, just as what you can do with the tech. And yeah, just have your content, you know, syndicated to different places. Cause really, now that I'm getting these videos on YouTube, I really want to figure out how to get either my, well, really, I just want to get my podcast onto Cast Garden, you know, and hopefully that'll be good for, I don't know where those numbers would go with those. And like, if I do get, let's see, I think I can send my RSS feed to Cast Garden and have that post to Hive, since I'm going to be doing these videos on YouTube now. I still want to get my podcast onto Hive. And yeah, if I did it through Cast Garden and I'm able to just have Cast Garden pull from the RSS feed for the show, then yeah, it's pretty much like YouTube. But I wonder would those listeners go to my podcast? Like, I do my show through Spotify, so would I see those listeners on the podcast? Or with Cast Garden, are they just taking videos from YouTube? I need to see what's going on there. Or is that a whole nother platform? No, I'm thinking about HiveTube. So HiveTube, they take from YouTube, which is different. But yeah, I really need to figure out how to get my podcast, either the RSS feed or my YouTube videos onto Hive in a painless way. Now that I have them going to YouTube, like to have it going to Hive too, that would be a big help, especially myself, nowadays not having as much time to create a ton of content. And just with the way I'm working now, man, like I do a ton of writing for work now. And yeah, it kind of puts me in a weird spot for the written content. Yeah, like I really just don't want to burn myself out as a writer overall. But yeah, all these notes and stuff. But yeah, I don't want to get too much into that right now. I might do another episode in a separate place. But yeah, this is, big step in the name of tech. Hey, it's still data ownership at the end of the day, with Hive being my foundational platform. Like I've built that foundation over the course of like a good 7 going on 8 years. So as far as my data on the internet, I think Hive will definitely continue to be the foundation, even though I connected that RSS to YouTube first. I've definitely wanted to do this with Hive for a long time, whether it be with Cast Garden or Ariel.1. I don't think they're really doing too much right now. But yeah, like the podcast, it shows up on Podping. So like you can listen to the Uncle Project podcast in the 3Speak app. Like, and I still rock with the 3Speak app as well. As far as like mobile Hive apps, it's definitely, I think it's one of the cooler ones. I really like 3Speak and Essency. And Keychain app is really good too, but 3Speak and Essency, just as far as apps, I feel like those are really good, just apps, like social apps, but personal opinion. But yeah, so yeah, YouTube journey, let's get it. Shout out to YouTube. Yeah, definitely. I haven't done too much, like the bare minimum on YouTube in the past, but yeah, I'll figure out a way to make it useful for me, make it some sort of an asset. Hopefully just as much as I do with Hive. But yeah, that's all for today's episode of the Uncle Project podcast. Another freestyle episode of the Uncle Project podcast. Yo, and if you think I'm getting better at running my mouth on freestyle episodes like this, drop a boost on Fountain FM and let me know that. If you type a message, I'll definitely read that after the intro on a future episode of the Uncle Project podcast. Really the more featured type episodes. In the featured episodes, those are more like my blogging styled episodes, which those are going to be my more 3Speak show type episodes. But yeah, you'll have your message read on a future episode of the Uncle Project podcast. But yeah, be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Share the show with a friend. Check out taco.start.page, and I'll catch you all on the next episode. Peace.